So you might have remembered a few months ago we did a video on the best analog piano patch, and we used the JX8P, and I talked about my personal quest to find the best analog piano patches and how I just find that personally exciting. And one of the comments in the video was to check out the MKS-20, which I did, but it wasn't really a purely analog piano patch. And then I discovered the MKS-10. So let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Zach Marr from Alamo Music here in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications. This is our Alamo Sound Lab channel where we talk about all things music tech related. And today we're looking at a contender for the best analog piano patch machine, the MKS-10. My current contender, the number one for me, is the JX8P. And yes, I know the JX10 has some great analog piano patches, but personally I like the 8P piano patches better. But I found the MKS-10, not a lot of information about it on the internet. It's an analog sound module, part of the MKS series from Roland, which are often misunderstood, repackaging of other synths they made for kind of a module rack setup. And the MKS-10 is the numerically lowest one they made. Actually, they made an MKS-7, which is pretty fun and complicated and a cool one. But the MKS-10 is pretty basic, like the MKS-20, but not as loved, wasn't as successful because it was analog and it was going out of style. But when I read about it, I was like, I gotta find one. I found one in California. They're fairly cheap. You can get them for under $300, anywhere from 100 to 300 when they pop up. And I wanted to try it out and listen to it. So let's take a listen. Before we I'm gonna give you my thoughts on it, but I just wanna go straight in the plane so you can hear how it sounds. And I want you to, it's not a ton of sounds. It only has 8 different kind of pre-built patches into it, but it has 3 different effects. It has a chorus, it has a flanger, and it has a tremolo effect, and you can set the rate and the depth on all of those, and you can have the flanger and chorus, one of those going with the tremolo at the same time, and it's got a little brilliance knob. So we'll listen to it so you can get a sense of what it sounds like. It's limited. If you want to fast forward past that, I'll give you my thoughts on where it stacks up against other analog piano patches, but let's take a listen. Here we go. So when I was prepping for this video and I was playing with the module at home, I thought, wow, I like this, but I don't like it as much as the JX8P. I do like it better than the JX-10 piano patches. But then when we were shooting this video and I was playing on it, I began to question myself, especially on the tremolo effect. It's a lot cooler than the MKS-20's tremolo effect, which is a little harsh on my ears. And maybe it's the same thing. Someone can tell me if the circuitry is the same. But when I was playing on it, the tremolo in particular adds a really cool flavor, as does the chorus, which differs again from the MKS-20. I was reading about it, and it only affects one of the sides, so it doesn't apply to both channels of the stereo, which is kind of odd. It's just one side, a mono stereo effect going to one side. And I read that off kind of someone that had gone through and labeled what type of chorus was in every single Roland synth. I can link below to that. But interesting, different use of the effects. It's really growing on me. It's a little less in your face and present than the JX8P, in my opinion, but it really is a nice little unit that's pretty cheap to pick up. And so if you like analog piano patches, and I've kind of ranted about this in the previous video, it's its own category of sound. You know, there was an obsession with realistic piano sounds, and now today we have uber realistic sampled piano sounds that are basically like playing a real acoustic piano with the recording when you're in the levels of expression. So that's not interesting to me from a kind of technology standpoint, but these old analog patches are their own thing, much like old electric pianos like the CP70 or the Rhodes are their own thing. They have a very particular tone. So personally, again, it's my journey. I'm on the fence. What do you think? Is the MKS-10 sound, does it sound better than the JX8P? Are there other analog piano patches or machines that do the sounds particularly well? In the vintage category. In the modern category, I really like the Polybrute. It's got some great piano tones in it. Very, very rich, totally different, and really not fair to compare any of these things to it because it's way more advanced. But if I had to choose myself, I think I'd still say I like the JX8P piano patch just a little tiny bit better. But this is right there at number 2 spot. And maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe we'll do a comparison video later. Let me hear your thoughts. Again, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Let me know your thoughts below. If you want to talk more, to go to alamomusic.com, chat with us, give us a call. Thank you for watching.